Oh, hang on, at the bottom.
Take it over. Yeah.
Don't mind. The Armory TV. Welcome to Full Time Sports Network. Welcome to the Preview Lounge. We're going to be talking about Arsenal, Man United, and I've got one good friend and one pain in the butt. Welcome to Rebel and the pain in the butt that is Colm, that always likes to harass me in the comments. And we do watch alongs together and stuff. So how are you both?
Yeah. Busy all day. Getting some energy in.
Bit of radio. We'll be talking about that very shortly. I'll do it as well because I know Colm has to do it most of the time. I'll do it myself. But Colm, how are you, mate?
I am pretty well, thank you, mate. Ready to wind up some Arsenal fans as I usually do. It's all banter, but that's what I'm here for as a Man United fan to do.
All right, just really quickly want to talk into our sponsors. We are proudly, when it wants to work, StreamYard just wants to be a pain today. There we go. There we go. We are proudly sponsored by Global Mapping Surveys. Global Mapping Surveys currently assist architects, property developers, and construction companies all over the country. They offer a wide range of services such as setting out topographical surveys, 3D laser scanning, and monitoring. The link is in the description for the website and contact details. Thank you so much to Global Mapping Surveys. And also, Rafe is... We're proud partners, aren't we? Is that what that's called?
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Sponsors. I've just said it again. Sponsors. Proud partners of Rafe Esports Energy Drink. Rafe is a powdered energy formula which is mixed with water. It is a healthy alternative to generic canned energy drinks. It is a clean, zero sugar, antioxidant rich formula which is designed to give you the edge. Use code FTSN22 for a 10% discount. And they're both drinking it now, to be fair. Rebel's got it. Colm's got it. There we go. Let's quickly get into the comments because Nippon's already here. Big up to Nippon. Hope you're doing well. Question for the Arsenal fans. How does it feel needing it? Oh, okay. Yeah, the Tottenham to win tonight. Got you. I was nearly very close to saying that then. I'm not really bothered if they win, lose or draw, to be honest. We just need to focus on Arsenal and let everybody else just worry about themselves. Before we do get into the game, just really quickly want to talk about, obviously, Arsenal made a signing. They have signed Leandro Trossard today, 20 million up front and 7 million in add-ons. Guys, I know you both love football. So, Colm, what's your opinion on that signing today for Arsenal?
I think it's absolutely terrible, shocking. What an awful... No, no. I'm going to be realistic here. No, a fantastic signing for Arsenal. Trossard is one of these players that I wouldn't have minded seeing at United. He seems to have a lot about his game. Obviously, he's going to be a backup, isn't he, I presume, for Martinelli out on that wing. And you couldn't really ask for a better backup than Trossard for Martinelli. It'll be interesting to see how he kicks on from... his playing time at Brighton and see if he can step up now.
Yeah. What about you, Rebel?
Yeah. No, he was someone that was very firmly in my fantasy football plans throughout the season when he was with Brighton. And obviously, I was thinking, okay, let's get in ahead of the game. We brought him in after World Cup, and then obviously his relationship with his boss deteriorated. But now it looks like he's been rescued out of Brighton, and he's got a future again on the fantasy football map. However, the one thing I will say, for looking at it from that perspective solely, looking at the rest of your squad, he's definitely going to be a rotation risk. So I don't know whether or not he'll be the Arsenal player that I'd be bringing back in. I do currently have Martinelli that is soon to be upgraded back to Saka because that boy does bits. But anyway, definitely a worthy signing. And I think when you compare to last season's lack of January activity for Arsenal, when you were basically in the same position that we are now looking for the top four, you have learned from those mistakes, and it looks like the owners are backing you now because you are in a legitimate position to push forward and win that league.
Yeah, exactly. Big up to Tony. Tony's in the house, and Luke never wants the Tottenham to win. I prefer a draw. I don't really mind, to be honest, just worry about Arsenal. So obviously we are talking about a certain game that's happening on Sunday, which I will be doing the watch along. I don't know if Colm's joining me. Are you joining me?
I am joining you. Yes.
Oh, there we go. Breaking news for me. I didn't even know that myself. So Colm, Ollie's not allowed. Ollie, if you're in the comments or watching this at any point.
No. Ollie's coming on as well.
Ollie's not joining us. He did the last one with me. That's not happening again. But obviously, we're talking about the United game. Obviously, you guys played last night. I know, Colm, you're not particularly too happy about the performance second half. Rebel, I know that you've been clipped for something that you might have said seconds before because Casemiro got a yellow card. But what did you think of the game?
Yeah, look, these things happen. I made an amateur mistake in my debut watch along, and I said something about, geez, do you know who's been playing absolutely fantastic and not putting himself in any danger whatsoever of getting a yellow card? Casemiro. Bang! Offer. But in all seriousness, though, I had this discussion with somebody afterwards. Casemiro probably could have been fortunate that he wasn't considered having done a scissor tackle on the way that the ref could have perceived it. It did look like he had left air. It did look like he had 2 feet, and he did kind of garner both of them around the defender. So, like, I suppose looking at it pragmatically, we're probably fortunate he didn't see red because another ref could have given that. In terms of the performance, I thought in the second half we were a bit leggy, but look, that's to be expected. I think we are starting to suffer in the areas of the squad that we're thin from match congestion, but realistically, it's still a point and it still progresses us in that race for top 4. That is where we're really realistically at. While we absolutely love the talk of being involved with the title race with Arsenal and City this year, realistically speaking, we're probably 1 or 2 more summer windows away from being in that kind of frame of mind. But obviously, progress is being made, and we'll attack again on Sunday. And NS Sports know I'm from the south, the deep south of Ireland.
I was about to go on to that because I thought I'm not going to answer that question for you. I'll let you do it yourself. Right. So I have got 10 questions. One that Colm made me put in there in the end because of his comment in a certain WhatsApp group that we might be in. But the first question is, what is your honest opinion on United's season so far? Colm, I'll let you go first as Rebel's just having a drink.
We're overachieving. That is my honest opinion. We are massively overachieving. We've basically got the same squad as what we had last year. We saw what happened last year. The players weren't up to it at all. Yeah, okay, we've had the few additions to the squad, Casemiro, Martinez, Anthony. So that's helped us a little bit. But where we are right now is down to Tenhag, getting that manager in. He's massively improved everything about Manchester United, apart from the so-called owners there anyway. So, yeah, I've been saying it for ages now, when all the United fans were losing their heads saying, we're in a title race, I'm like, no, we're not. We're in a battle for top 4. That is what we are in. And to even be considered to be in a battle for top 4 is a massive achievement. And for where we're sitting right now, what is it, 8 points between us and 7th? So that's European football still. We're massively overachieving, say how much we struggled last season.
Yeah, what about you, Rebel?
Absolutely, I have to agree. And you did forget one of the most important signings of all, and that was the free transfer of Eriksen. So shame on you, Mr. Cullum, for not mentioning him. The lad has been an absolute revolution for Manchester United's play next to Casemiro. But I have to agree completely. We are overachieving, and I've been having pretty frank discussions with some Manchester United sporting buddies of mine, and if we were to win the EFL Cup, get top 4, and have a crack off Barca and maybe the next round of Europa, that is a pretty damn good season. And it gives a good platform for any potential prospective owners that may secure final takeover of Manchester United to build on in the summer. I don't think you can escape really the importance of Champions League football into what they may be able to do next season, because it will definitely assist in attracting players to the club. But in terms of where we are at the moment, as Com said, the squad is a bit thin in places, and we're definitely overachieving. And if we can secure top 4, season worthwhile.
Fair enough. This will probably be a quick answer for you then. How much has Erik ten Hag changed United this season? I'll start with you, Rebel.
Massively.
Yeah. Colm?
Yeah, I got to agree. We've actually got a proper coach and a manager, and you can see how much it's changed United this season.
Fair enough. Right. what were your expectations before this season? How much have they changed now mid-season? I'll start with you, Cole.
So my expectations at the beginning of the season was either qualify top 4, for Champions League that way, or the Europa. They were the only expectations I had because it was vital that we got Champions League football next season. My expectations haven't changed at all. Top 4 and or the Europa is still the main priority. However, I would like to see United get a cup, even if it is the Mickey Mouse competition.
Yeah. In terms of expectations, I suppose if you're to say start the season, I was kind of saying, look, we're looking at maybe a domestic cup run and maybe 5th or 6th. That was prior to Casemiro being signed. Then top 4 really was something that was on my mind then and remains on my mind now as an achievable and tangible goal. And I don't think anything other than that would be realistic. If somebody's trying to argue that United are in title race, I just don't see it. We don't, not unless we go absolutely ham in the transfer market in January from some hidden pot of gold that's hiding in Joe Glazer's pants, but I don't think that's there. So top 4, and that was where I was at since the end of the summer window.
Fair enough. Right, now we're going to talk about the game and how Man United are right now. So, what are United's strengths that you feel could hurt Arsenal this Sunday? I'm going to start with you, Rebel.
Yeah, I think the big thing obviously was up until yesterday was the former Rashford. He was on a killer run. And in one way, actually, for him to have a quiet game against the lads yesterday probably might be no harm because those runs do come hammering to an end at some point. Casemiro, we missed him in the original game against Arsenal, but this is near ground. So it would have actually done us no harm to have him in play. I think the biggest threat obviously would be our ability to kind of keep the ball going through our new attacker and Rashford, but I don't want to see an over-reliance on long ball into him because I think we overplayed that hand a bit yesterday. But yeah, it's all going to be down to hitting you on the break and being organised and disciplined at the back. And Tenhag has definitely shown that is the mantra of his teams.
Come.
I kind of got to agree with Rebel, obviously your standout one is Rashford. He's been on a massive good vein of form recently. Okay, he didn't score yesterday, but he put in a good performance in the first half yesterday. He started to look leggy in the second half, but hopefully if he comes back, and I hope he is going to be back and fit, I know a few United fans might not agree, but Anthony Martial, because we missed Martial so much in last night's game. The way he links up play, and obviously he's got that little bit of a goal threat about him as well. If he's playing, that's going to be one as well because he can occupy two defenders, just on his own because of the link-up play that he can do. It'll be quite interesting to see as well how it's going to be all set up. I think if Luke Shaw ends up playing at centre back, that's going to be a bit of a strength for United as well. He's doing very, very well there. He's managed to keep a lot of the bigger boys such as Haaland quiet as well.
Yeah, true. What are United's weaknesses that you feel Arsenal can exploit? I'll start with you, Colm.
The midfield. Right at this moment, the midfield. Your midfield, obviously, without us having Casemiro, that leaves a massive hole for United. He's been United's best player so far this season. Since he came in, we've been so much more solid and we've actually won midfield battles. Now, the fear for me is, are we going to be putting a certain Scott McTominay in the midfield where if we are, it might as well be like you're running water through a colander. You're going to go straight through him because he's absolutely useless. So that's United's biggest weakness is that midfield.
Rebel?
Yeah, I have to agree. Casemiro, obviously, huge loss in the centre of midfield. So that probably means that there's an option here for Ten Hag to look at. And that is whether he tries to put Martinez in there to do a job for him for one game only and maybe pack in that extra midfielder in Fred like he did against City in order to frustrate the Arsenal build-up of play. But if you get on top in midfield, like I expect you to, it could lead to lots of chances for our defenders to have to deal with.
Fair enough. Now, this one's going to be tricky for you both. What is your honest opinion on Arsenal's season so far? Rebel, I'm sorry, but I have to put it in there. Is the armory. Yeah. Rebel, what's your honest opinions?
Well, as you know, I grew up in the heyday of Manchester United versus Arsenal, Keane versus Vieira, Wenger versus Ferguson. So I suppose in a way it's bringing me back to my childhood, and I have to say I am enjoying it. I think we're just that little bit too undercooked at the moment to try and replicate those seasons, but Arsenal have been impressive. They learned the lessons of last January, and whoever took the reins in the Arsenal hierarchy is after ensuring that their manager is backed, and you have to applaud what's being done there.
Colm, be nice.
No, I am going to be nice. It's my honest opinion of Arsenal season so far is exactly where I said it was going to be. I've been saying for God knows how long that Arsenal are going to win the league. And look at it, the top of the table. They keep winning games. They keep grinding out results. And most of the games, you're making it look very, very easily. So exactly where I thought it was going to be. You're playing so well, and you're probably the team to beat this season.
Yeah. And you know what? Ignoring the fact that you won Premier Leagues at the start of the creation of Premier League, you'll actually be equaling Liverpool's current haul if you win this season.
Big up to Moss, who's getting in the comments here. Cross to Spud, send them packing and out of Europe. And Conte Gonzo. Please play McFred, is what you're saying. Also play Maguire. And Colm, you have been saying it, to be fair. He cheers against it, but you've been calling it. Right, a couple more questions. Who do you think will win the Premier League season? I already know your answer, Colm, so we'll skip you. Rebel? Arsenal. Fair enough. Right, this one is down to Colm because he put it in the banter group, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to delete this for the preview lounge because this would be an interesting chat. Makeda or Nketiah? This is down to Colm. This is what Colm put in the banter group. Right, Rebel, who are you choosing out of Makeda or Eddie?
Just do me one quick favour before I answer. One nice slap across Colm there, if you wouldn't mind, because this is an absolute joke of a question. Look, with all due credit to Makeda, he did make 2 performances that won us that Premier League that year by getting goals out of nowhere in back-to-back games. But the man never established himself at all anywhere close to Nketiah. I know he's not exactly high on Arsenal fans' priority list, but I'm sorry, there's no comparative.
Colm?
Look, right. I want to put some background into this whole question here. This was a reply because was it Tony who put it in the chat saying that Nketiah was better than any version of Wayne Rooney. So I replied back saying Nketiah is not even as good as Makeda. As the United fan I am, I want to hit back with something that I know would hurt. So that's why I did it. I think Nketiah is better than Makeda. I do. Even though I've seen Makeda play a lot more, I've seen him play down at lower leagues and stuff as well. But Nketiah is the better player out of the two.
Thank you. Just wanted you to put that on record so everyone can hear. Big up to Gums. I hope you're doing well. Evening, guys. Feels good to have United and Arsenal rivalry back like the old days. Exactly. Arsenal, City, Man U, Liverpool, Newcastle battle for fourth. Right. Yeah. Obviously, he's going to choose Eddie. Got 2 more questions, and then we're going to do the challenge, which Colm loves. Casemiro or Partey, Rebel? Who are you choosing?
Look, this is one that's kind of raging around the football universe at the moment. I think there's not a fan forum or social media group that is not talking about this. I think it's actually unfair in one way to compare them, because what Casemiro does and what Partey do are probably a little bit different in the way that they affect their teams. Over the past number of years, if you were to talk about in career, obviously it's Casemiro because what he done at Real Madrid. But this season, I think it's kind of a, whether you prefer 1 spoon of sugar or 2 spoons of sugar in your tea, you're still getting the same product really from both of them. And the only reason that I'd say Casemiro is because he's the lad that is wearing the United jersey and Partey's not. If Partey was wearing the United jersey, I'd probably be saying Partey. I don't see a too much of a gargantuan difference between the two of them this season. I'll be honest.
Colm?
Yeah, I kind of have to agree. Obviously, I'm going to swing towards Casemiro myself. You know, I think he's one of the best CDMs in the world, if not the best CDM in the world, in my eyes. And the thing that kind of sways it, not only that he's playing for Man United, the thing that sways it for me more towards Casemiro is his career that he has actually had. You know, all the trophies he's won, he's proven it season after season after season. You know, that this is what he does, and he's the best at it.
Yeah. See, I'm going to shock most people, and Arsenal fans are going to hate me for saying, but I'm choosing Casemiro, to be honest. I've always been impressed with him more than Partey. I like Partey, but there's not much between the two, but I would choose Casemiro over Partey. If someone said, you've got to choose, I'm choosing Casemiro. It's just the fact, you know, but there's not much difference. As you said, there's not much difference between the two. Right. Score predictions. Colm. Now, don't go to 55, 54 or something crazy like that. What's your score prediction for Sunday, mate?
Honest, I'm gonna be completely honest here, and I'm gonna get hate for it, but I'm gonna say 2-1 Arsenal.
Fair enough. Rebel?
Well, he's after stealing my answer, so I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And Bobby's gonna go 3-1 United.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna go for 2-2. I think United will turn up because it is still Arsenal United at the end of the day. I know you've got no Casemiro, but I still think that you could do some damage, especially if Rashford is on form. If Rashford's going to give us a nightmare, but I'm wondering who you're playing up front. Are you going to play with Weghorst, do you reckon? Because he'll give us issues.
It's going to be down to whether Martial's fit or not. If Martial is fit, Martial will play, and Weghorst will probably come on for the last 20-25 minutes, and then obviously it's going to have to change. You're going to have to change, you know, your tactics then. Because obviously you're dealing with a completely different player.
Yeah.
If it's Weghorst from the start, we're going to be heavily reliant on Bruno and Rashford.
Yeah, I'm getting so much hate in the comments right now. I have to be honest with myself. I am a non-biased fan. That's why I do what I do, and that's why I work where I work. You know, it's just that I have to be honest. Bobby's being cancelled. Bobby's out. That's fine. I have no gripes with being who I am. I'm going to be true to myself. I always will be, because I wouldn't be able to do what I do if I wasn't if I just had my Arsenal hat on all the time, it would be Arsenal, Arsenal, Arsenal. But trust me, when it's good, when Bobby predicts us to draw, then we win. That has happened quite a lot lately. So to be fair, take that. Bobby's a Wolves fan. No, Wolverhampton Wanderers Stadium is literally 100 meters there. I know you like bias fans, but it's how I do my job. Right. Colm's looking forward to this. Rebel, don't think Rebel's ever done this with me before. The challenge. Are you ready?
Done.
Okay, so the rules are it's the home team advantage with the formation. So it's Arsenal's formation. So it's 4 at the back, CDM, 2 centre mids, right winger, left winger, striker. I will let you do the Man United players first, and you can choose injured players and suspended players because it's nothing. It's not like a combined 11. It's who's the best players in your team, basically. So we will choose. I'll let Rebel choose first. I'll let him have the 3 picks, and then Colm can have 2. So your first Man United player, please, Rebel.
Centre back Martinez.
Okay. There we go. Colm.
CDM Casemiro.
Okay, Rebel.
I'm going to go with Eriksen in midfield as well.
Okay.
I'm going to stick I'll stick David De Gea in there.
Okay.
I was actually going to say Ramsdale in that position, but we'll agree to disagree.
No,
Well, I was going to put Ramsdale there, but
no, it's absolutely fine. You guys, Rebel, your final choice for United.
I think because of the way I'd like to play them, I'm going to put Rashi up top
as striker. Yeah,
as striker because I have a reason for that.
That's fine. Right, so we're going to choose Arsenal players now. So right back, who are you going to choose? Arsenal right back.
That's you, Colin.
Stick Ben White there.
Yeah,
I like Ben White there. He does a solid job.
He's becoming my favourite right back at the moment. Centre back, Rebel.
Saliba.
Left back, Colm.
Left back's good. Well, I'm going to go with a player that I've liked for a while, so I'll go with Zinchenko.
Okay. Last centre midfield position, Rebel.
Odegaard.
Okay. Right, so now we've got left wing and then right wing. Colm, I'll let you choose the right wing.
Saka. I'm pretty sure I know his Rebel's going to put the left.
And to be fair, because he has pretty much signed, you can choose Trossard as well, just so you know. But
Martinelli.
Yeah. Out there just in case. There we go. Right, so this is the combined Man United Arsenal for the challenge. And to be fair, it's a pretty good team again. So we've got De Gea in goal, Ben White right back, Saliba, Martinez, Zinchenko, Casemiro, Eriksen, Odegaard, Martinelli, Saka, and Rashford. What do you guys think of that team overall?
That team smokes the Premier League, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, that team's challenging.
That team smokes the Premier League and it smokes the Champions League. That wins everything.
That is just, that is brilliant, isn't it? That is.
And I just want to clear up why I picked De Gea. I've only picked De Gea because of experience. Fair
enough. You don't really need to explain it either. It's your own choice, and I'm never going to tell you what to choose. That's the whole point of the challenge. But yeah, I think that's a very good team.
Can I just come in there? The only reason I just said Ramsdale over De Gea, while De Gea's the better shot stopper, has attributes that are better than Ramsdale's, I think the way Ramsdale would kick off the play would benefit what's out in front of him more than De Gea, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. So that's not a bad team. I have saved it because obviously I've got a preview tomorrow with the Arsenal fans. I just want to quickly go. Moss hates the challenge. I do apologise, but it is what it is. Let's just stop that screen. There we go. Bobby is a football fan, support everyone except Spurs. The person I work the closest with is a Tottenham fan. So yeah, me and him do have disagreements now and then, but we have to get on. So we do. We get our jobs done.
Personally speaking, I kind of need City to win tonight because I want to see our Tottenham cut adrift.
Oh, fair enough. Hate it yet. I cannot stay away from. He's always talking about. Oh, Tony's not happy with De Gea. Moss has done his own one. Let's see, make sure he's actually chosen 5 United first. Has he chosen 5 United?
Yes, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Sandro, Saliba, White, Casemiro, Eriksen, Odegaard, Saka, Rashford, and Jesus. Again, there's nothing wrong with that team. That's still challenging for me.
I think the thing with the front three and putting Rashford central is it would probably allow Saka, Martinelli, and Rashford to alternate their positions and cause problems for defences.
Yeah, that team would win anything, we reckon. Of course, Tony would be saying that. Tony holding over Martinez. Cole knows world class. Odegaard. My team would beat yours. Ramsdale better. Let's just check. He's actually done the right thing as well. Bruno. Yep. He's got 5, so I can say that team. So that's Ramsdale, Shaw, Martinez, Saliba, White, Odegaard, Bruno, Casemiro, Martinelli, Rashford, Saka. Bruno. Why did neither of you mention Bruno? Actually, I've just realised that.
I didn't mention him because he's too pessimistic. Is that the right word? Pessimistic? Not pessimistic. There's a word I'm trying to think of and I can't think of it. He for me, he can be annoying at times, even though he's a fantastic player for United. The thing that really gets on my nerves with Bruno is every single tackle or every single foul is up in the ref's face, going like this and asking for cards, and it really, really bugs me.
Yes, totally agree with
for me, I think it's what Eriksen brings to the table and what he would do, kind of developing play between Casemiro and Odegaard. I think that's why I was kind of aiming towards Eriksen. I think he would provide a better platform for the other two midfielders that are there with him than having Bruno in the middle of those two. And Chris does mention a good point. Jesus would be a great link man for a Saka, Rashford diving in style of football. But I suppose, again, that's the reason why we wouldn't have Bruno maybe in the centre of that midfield, because of the platform that Eriksen, Odegaard and Casemiro would give to that front three.
Yeah. Luke's going for Colm now, but you're back in straight away for picking Saka, so that's good. Nice to meet you, Colm, as what Rebel was saying there. Bruno is something. Just admit it, Colm. Yes, I probably would agree with you on that one myself. Yeah, exactly, Colm. Bruno does 3 to 5 times every game. I don't think he's calmed down a little bit. The games I've watched recently, I think tenhag has obviously had a word with him. Have you noticed that recently? Because I've noticed it. He's calmed down a little bit.
No. No.
Oh, have you not? Maybe it's just maybe because I watch games more thoroughly. I don't know, but I've noticed it. He seems to calm down recently.
I don't know if you watched it yesterday, Rebel, but I watched the Palace game. Well, you did watch long, yeah. So I watched the Palace game yesterday as well, and I saw him go up and speak to the referee about tackles 5 or 6 times in the first half.
Really?
But no, we do have to remember, in the absence of Harry Maguire being on pitch, he is the captain, so he is entitled to speak to the referee, as is any captain, but he's not entitled to abuse a referee. And I think that's where we've seen a bit more calmness from Bruno, is the way that he remonstrates with the ref is, I suppose, a bit more calculated in the way that he's communicating with them. Has he more to do on that front? Absolutely, he does. Yeah. But
I mean, maybe it's, obviously he's a European player.
Yeah.
Obviously, the way they speak and portray things is a little different. I mean, I've got Polish friends that when they're talking to each other, it sounds like they're having a full-blown argument. But they're talking about what they're about to go and do on the dinner break and stuff like that. So maybe it's just obviously that little bit of a language barrier where he's having to use his hands a little bit more to get it.
Yeah. Yeah, you could be right.
He's not telling him that he's going to sleep with the fishes.
He does that, though.
Yeah. Tony coming back here. By the way, I'm not buying Man United fans playing down the title race. They are in it, and they know it. What's your comeback to that? I honestly do. Unless you're mathematically not possible to win it, you're in it. So that's how I always look at it. So, Colm, what do you reckon?
I honestly, I don't think we are in a title race. I just don't see it happening. We dropped points yesterday. Obviously, we've got to go to you guys on Sunday and to somehow beat you guys, who are very impressive at home anyway. I said it at the beginning of the show. We're in a top 4 battle. That is what we're in. We're not in a title race, and we won't be in a title race this season. Maybe not even next season. It's going to take time for us to get back up there.
Rebel.
I have to agree. Like, if you're to talk about it from just raw numbers, obviously looking at the table, looking at the points, and looking at the points that are available, then yeah, United are in that conversation by virtue of just looking at raw statistical data. From the perspective of what is realistic, like, I think over the back end of the season, it's likely that we'll probably be slipping a couple of more points. And what we're really looking at is making sure that Chelsea, Liverpool, Tottenham don't come up and nip us out of that Champions League spot. I'm going to enjoy every moment that we're within so-called touching distance of Arsenal, but I'm not going to be sitting here thinking that we can win the league this season. We can't. We're exactly where Arsenal were last season. We're looking at getting those 1 or 2 signings to possibly make sure that we end up in top 4. And Arsenal are in a position where they're looking for those signings to keep them above City.
Yeah, exactly. King saying here that United was on a 9-game win streak. They are very good. Next year going to be Man United and Arsenal battling for top all season. I think next season is going to be very interesting with takeovers and more money coming in, especially in the summer. United have beaten City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Spurs, and drawn to Chelsea. I think they are a title challenger, maybe not favourites, but dark horse. He is right. Back to the 90s, still not buying it. I know what they're doing.
I mean, there's 57 points left to play for in the rest of this season, and on average, you're going to need let's say 95 points to win the league.
Yeah.
With how short of players United are in positions, we're going to drop way too many points to be in a title race. We saw it. We saw the effects of it starting to happen yesterday. We're playing a game every 3 to 4 days. We just haven't got the squad to actually mount a title charge at all, or even be considered as a title challenger.
Yeah. Like I said, if short of United's dramatically being sold overnight, and all of a sudden there being a pot of money to come in and possibly plug those gaps, I don't think it's realistic for us to expect to actually really take you on. Look, we're obviously up there on the table, and a season can be funny. A couple of key injuries to Arsenal, and all of a sudden, maybe there could be a rocky period that you have to navigate. But realistically, I think it'd be City that would be more capable of, I suppose, taking advantage of that than us. It's what's important for us is that we remain focused and we stay clear of those chasing 3 big clubs, because that's where we're at this season. And if we do happen to be still in the conversation at the end of the season, I'm not going to come back here and say, oh yeah, we were having you on. At the end of the day, if we are there, it'll be because it'll be a complete surprise to us.
Yeah. Luke's saying here that he thinks United are already ahead of what Arsenal were last season. I'm not sure, really. I'm not sure. What do you guys think of that one?
I think it's quite tight. I think there's still quite a lot of dross in the United squad that needs to be taken care of. And whereas I think Arsenal were kind of happy with what was in their squad and looking to add a few more, I'd say the only thing that you want to do this summer is probably sign a striker to kind of help with Jesus.
Yeah. Cole?
Yeah. There's not much difference, but like what Rebel said, I still think Arsenal are ahead of what Man United are now, like last season.
Yeah.
I kind of got to agree with Rebel. The harmony and everything was kind of there already. You had to bring in 1 or 2, and that's all you really needed.
Yeah, Moss saying here that top 2 start the season. That's what Moss said at the start of the season. 20 games is a lot. Remember 1998. It seemed United were running away with it. What happened at the end of the season? Correct. Your squad is on par with ours. A long-term injury to Partey. I don't think we could win the title. Possible. Tiddeman's SMS or who? See. Oh, okay. Moss is asking Luke what CDM he wants. Right, guys. Thank you ever so much that's tuned in, got involved in the conversation. I will be giving Colm and Rebel a chance to talk about their shows. They're both from Full Time Sports Network, which is where I'm from as well. I'll start with Rebel. What shows have you got coming up, mate?
Well, this is my last show of the week, but I will be back either on the watch along or reaction show on Sunday. I'm not sure which one I've been allocated to on the Man United agenda just yet. I know that the Football Lounge is going to be back one of the days next week. We have to sit down with Cullen and figure this one out. And we are, of course, looking forward to welcoming Bobby back into the conversation. And in addition to that, then there'll be full programming events normally every day at 8:30 on the United agenda.
Colm?
Well, you can find me on the Full Time Sports Network or in the Twitterverse. They're the 2 places that you tend to find me. My name is what you can find me on Twitter. So if you want to come and give me some abuse on Twitter, feel free. I will happily go through and give you some back. That is not an issue at all. And, if you want to come and show the Full Time Sports Network some love, because obviously we've got Bobby, who does a lot of work for us over there as well. So thank you, Bobby, for that. It'd be much appreciated.
Thank you very much.
Can I ask one quick question? Because there was a colleague of ours in the Full-Time Sports Network, Ross. They did manage to shift one Danny Ings. Positive or negative, do you reckon?
I'm shocked by that signing. I really am. I'm shocked. What? I like him. I'd have him at Arsenal personally as an option. Would you? Because I just think he just gives you something. Not all the time, but he gives you something.
Do you know what? He'd be a good alternative for alternating Jesus once he gets back from his injury. So he probably wouldn't have been any harm for you to get him, given that you want to kind of keep going and have a squad, and then maybe flip him again in the summer if you decide there's somebody better there for you. So maybe that would have been something to pursue. But I think Moisey's on borrowed time anyway. I'll be honest with you, West Ham.
Yeah, I said this to you a while back, didn't I, Carl? That I think Moyes will be one of the ones getting sacked next because I don't know how he's still surviving. I really don't.
You did. I mean, if I didn't have this background on, you'd see Bobby's death pool little thing next to me, you know, with managers with lines through them. Who he's got right so far.
Lampard next.
Well, you know, that one's another one. But the Moyes one is the biggest shock because obviously they were quite high up last season, and this is a massive drop off. And they've spent big. That's the problem. It's spending big and the massive drop off. Obviously, Brendan Rodgers haven't got no money. What else can they do, really? But David Moyes, I don't know how he's surviving. I really don't, because they're just awful, really awful. I like the guy. I like the guy. I really do. I think he should go to Everton personally, but that's just my opinion.
They might be even worse if they go ahead and sign Harry Maguire.
Well, that's the Villa.
Well, Everton are after some. So you remember the World Cup show we did before it started? We talked about a player that I liked, Sulemana. He's been linked with Everton now. So, see, I know my stuff. That kid is very special. But yeah, we've been rabbiting on again. Do apologise. I will be back tomorrow at 7 o'clock for the Arsenal preview on the Armoury, which will be Arsenal fans. And I will be back at the weekend to do. I can't remember what the 5:30 kickoff is on Saturday.
On Saturday?
Yeah, I can't remember what it is.
I'll tell you there now.
It's not an important game, whatever it is.
I think it is
Palace Newcastle.
I was thinking that, but I wasn't too sure. So I'll be back to do the Crystal Palace Newcastle game on Saturday, and then Colm will be bothering me on the Sunday one because we'll be doing Arsenal Man United. Are
you not doing 12:30 Liverpool Chelsea relegation battle?
I'd like to eat and have a Sunday. To be honest, that's a mid-table clash now. So
let's not torture him by watching two relegation teams fight. Yeah, well, let's not do that. He's already going to suffer watching, you know, Arsenal get beat at the weekend. Let's not make him suffer. No, I'm joking, of course.
Love him really. But guys, I will be back tomorrow. Colm will be joining me on Sunday. Rebel, we'll see you next week sometime and sometime over the weekend on the Man United agenda. But for now, and I'm sorry about this to you two, but it is definitely come on, you Gunners, before we come out. See you later, guys.